Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, I would like to appreciate initiatives or effort of the Air University to organize this session to enhance knowledge of the students regarding cotton insect pests.
This is Dr. Farid. Students, today we have a lecture. Actually, this
Recording in progress.
link was shared by the CCRI, and I actually thought that it will be started. So it's important that we can introduce about the invited speaker today. As we have shared with you the topic and brief about the invited speaker. So simply today the topic that is cotton insect pest management, and we have the honor and we are grateful to Dr. Rabia Saeed. She is head entomology in Central Cotton Research Institute, Multan. Madam, welcome you in this online Zoom lecture, and we are thankful and we are grateful to you for your time. And hopefully, our students they will have you can say practical knowledge on current issues about the cotton insect pests and their management in this lecture.
Today we will discuss about cotton insect pest management. Cotton is not a simple crop. Insect pest complex attack on cotton crop. Near about 150 insect pest attack cotton, but they all are not major pest. Few are major pest, while other are minor pest. We will discuss about major pests. Major pests include sucking pests and the bollworms. What are major sucking pests? They include jacid, whitefly, thrips, spider mites, and mealybug. Economic losses to cotton due to these major sucking pests is estimated to be more than 30%. First of all, we will discuss about thrips. Thrips is one of the major sucking pests of the cotton. It attacks the cotton on the seedling stage. Silvery color, leaf appearance, and upward curling of the leaves are the typical symptoms of the thrips damage. Another important sucking pest is the jacid. These are jacid nymphs. Jacid lay eggs inside veins. After hatching nymphs and after eclosion adults, they both feed on the leaves. In the seedling stage or early plant stages, leaf color turns yellow and plant grows stunted, while in the later stages, leaf color become brick red. That is a typical symptom of the jacid attack known as hopper burn symptom. We conducted trial in CCRI Multan, in which one field was left unsprayed while other field received the regular spraying schedule. You can see the difference between the sprayed and unsprayed field. Now another important pest, that is the whitefly. That is the main pest of the cotton in these days. This is a whitefly adult and these are whitefly nymphs. Whitefly lay eggs on the lower portion of the plant on the underside of the leaves. Both nymphs they cause the direct and the indirect damage. This is picture of the indirect damage. Indirect damage in this sense that they act as the vector of the cotton leaf curl virus in severe cases, and a leaf-like outgrowth appear on the underside of the leaf known as ination. This is ination. This is the picture of direct damage, in which when whitefly feed, they secrete the honeydew on which sooty mold fungus develop that cause the blackening of the leaves, due to which photosynthetic activity is severely affected. In the later stages or the crop maturity, This fungus may develop on the lint that reduces the economic quality of the cotton. Mites. Due to the mite attack, leaf become dusty and you can see the web on the leaves. Mealybug. Mealybug, this is very important pest of the cotton. This is the female of mealybug and this is male of mealybug. CCRI Multan conducted surveys to find out its host range and observed more than 160 plants as its host plant, including crops and vegetables, ornamentals, weeds, and trees. This picture shows the typical damage of the mealybug. We visited a field where mealybug attack left nothing in the field and farmer have to rotivate this field. Now we will discuss about major bollworms. Pink bollworm, spotted bollworm, American bollworm, and armyworm. We will discuss one by one about these pests. Pink bollworm. Pink bollworm is very damaging pest of the cotton. It is the main threat of the cotton in these days due to the this is one of the main factor of low cotton cultivation these years. Its larvae is of the pink color, due to it we called it pink bollworm. Its larvae releases secretion due to it that join the petals of the flowers, giving it rosette shapes, known as the rosetted flower. This is the healthy flower. Rosette flower is its typical symptom of its attack. When we open the rosette flower, you can see the full-grown larvae inside the flower. Due to the pink bollworm, lint color becomes yellow, and it also causes the bad opening of the balls. In CCRI Multan, we have continuous practice of installing the pheromone traps since 1980s. This is the data of pink bollworm population fluctuation. You can see in 2005, it reached at its peak. After the BT cultivation, its population decreased, but in 2015 again its population start to increase. What are the reasons behind this? There are several reasons. One reason is cultivation of the uncertified seed. Another reason might be the insecticide resistance in the pink bollworm. And third, the most important reason is the lack of using cultural practices or ignorance of the IPM strategies. I will focus on the pink bollworm. This figure shows the population fluctuation in 2019 and 2020. Pink bollworm undergoes two types of diapause. One is the short diapause, other is the long diapause. Peak of the short diapause mainly start in the month of the March to April, while long diapausing peak reached in September, October. CCRI Multan conducted surveys in the southern Punjab, and you can see the maximum damage appeared in Khanewal during the month of September, October, and November. This pest is mainly caused damage during the month of this October. You can see this range. In the month of September, 0 to 100% infestation was observed in the same district, in the same area. The main reason behind this is the pest management. This is the data for 2020. Pink bollworm is increasing day by day. You can see in 2020, pink bollworm is higher than the 2019. The main reason behind this is the ignorance of the IPM practices to manage pink bollworm. There are several carrier sources of the pink bollworm, like ginning waste, leftover balls on the sticks, and double seed. But the most important source is the leftover balls on cotton sticks. Like these sticks, you can see larvae in the leftover ball. These are the leftover balls, larvae in the leftover balls. These are the field debris. Spotted bollworm and American bollworm. These are not a major threat to the cotton in these days after the introduction of the BT cotton. But the armyworm and the pink bollworm are the major pests in these days. These are the eggs of the armyworm, larvae, and the adult of the armyworm. Armyworm larvae chew the leaves in the form of the clusters, so named as armyworm. Now we will discuss about the most important thing, the impact of the BT cotton on minor pests. There were few pests that were minor before the introduction of the BT cotton, but became the major pest after the introduction of the BT cotton, like cotton stainer and dusky cotton bug. We conducted several studies on these pests. First of all, I will discuss red cotton bug. These are the eggs of the red cotton bug. Red cotton bug lay eggs inside the cracks and crevices of the soil, inside the soil. Nymph, after hatching, climb on the tree in the form of the clusters. They feed in the sap inside the seed and reduce the germination of the seed. They also cause the yellow staining on the lint. When you open the balls, you can see these needle-like holes. Its host plant includes okra, wheat, millet, maize, etc. Like wheat, weeds, ornamental plants, sunflower. Symbol is it's one of the favorite host. We conducted case studies in CCRI Multan to see its damage. The results show that more than 30% germination reduced due to the attack of the pink bollworm. Now we will discuss about dusky cotton bug, another emerged pest. It attacks on the terminal shoots, flower buds, flowers. Now we will discuss about its host plant. It has several host plants like the mango, China rose, moringa, okra, weeds like a beauty lawn. This was all about the cotton insect pest. Now we will discuss about how to manage this pest. Integrated pest management is the best approach to manage any insect. What is a IPM or integrated pest management? IPM generally recognized after the overuse of insecticide and occurrence of subsequent crises like overuse, misuse, and improper use of the pesticides developed resistance in insects and endangered natural enemies along with environmental and human health hazards. IPM based on the following steps: sampling, avoidance, and effective chemical use. What are the layers of the IPM? Sampling. Sampling includes pest detection, sampling and monitoring, avoidance by the cultural control, host plant resistance, and biological control. Effective chemical use includes threshold, pesticides, and IRM. This is the basic model of the IPM. To manage any pest, first of all, the pest scouting is very important. What is pest scouting? Pest scouting is the estimation of number of pest density, number of pests or damage to the crop in a specific crop area. For the cotton pest scouting, there are two types of the method. For the square field, one for the rectangular field. For the sucking pest, first of all, you have to enter from the one side and sample the upper leaf from the one plant, middle leaf from the other plant, and the base leaf from the third plant. And you have to observe at least 30 leaves from the 1 acre plot. To observe the bollworms and the predators, you have to take the whole plant sample, and 4 stick samples are recommended per acre. Stick size is mentioned here. Another method to monitor the bollworms is by the light trap and the sex pheromone trap. This is sex pheromone trap, this is light trap. But a pink bollworm is a totally different bollworm from the other. Its monitoring is also different from the other bollworms. You cannot monitor it through the light trap. So it is recommended that 10 to 15 balls per 5 acre plot should be collected, and they should be 14 to 20 days old, and kept these balls under the shade for 2 to 3 days. After 2 to 3 days, dissect these balls under the sunlight to see the live larvae. The most important thing to manage any pest is the economic threshold level or ETL level. What is the ETL level? ETL level is the pest density at which the control measures should be taken to avoid economic losses. CCRI Multan did a lot work to establish ETL levels, like for cotton jayseed ETL is 1 to 2 per leaf, whitefly 4 to 5 per leaf, thrips 8 to 10 per leaf, aphid 10 per leaf, and mites 10 to 15 per leaf. For spotted bollworm, 3 larvae per 25 plants, pink bollworm 5%, and American bollworm 5 brown eggs, armyworm at the appearance. Now we will discuss the most important thing, that is the correlation of the natural enemies and spray program. That is the most ignorant area in the IPM in Pakistan. If we observe 20,000 to 30,000 natural enemies and the stick samples per acre, then there is no need of this spray. No, there are sampling is very important, but sampling is for the BT cotton, and the non-BT cotton is totally different. For Heliothrys, 5 brown eggs or 3 small larvae, as we discussed earlier. But that is for the conventional varieties. For the BT varieties, 2 medium larvae per 25 plants. For the pink bollworm, on the conventional varieties, 5% damage or infestation, but on the BT cotton, 5% infestation means 5% live larvae. These are the warts due to the pink bollworm larvae, and this is the dead larvae of the pink bollworm in the BT plant cotton. Now we will discuss about the control methods. What are the control methods? First of all, cultural control practices. As we have discussed, pink bollworm is the pest that can be only successfully controlled by the cultural practices. Like grazing can reduce 70% pink bollworm. 90% pink bollworm reduced due to the shredding and the irrigation. This is the major source of the pink bollworm. That is the leftover balls on the cotton sticks. This is farmers' general practice. You can see the larvae in the leftover balls. This farmers keep the sticks in this way. That is not okay. That is not right. Sticks piling should be done in bundles with upright position. Another method to manage pink bollworm is the PB ropes. In the PB ropes, female pheromone, that is the gossip lure, is preserved in the form of the chemicals in wires. This is PB rope. This is to apply PB rope. PB rope should be applied on the pin scare head stage. 50 days old plant. And 120 PB ropes per acre are recommended. What is this? Anyone can differentiate between the right and left side of this picture? This is the effect of mechanical ball picker. This is mechanical ball picker designed by CCRI Multan to pick the all leftover balls from the cotton sticks. These are the details of the mechanical ball picker. Mechanical ball picker efficacy. We collected data from the control and the control plot and the plot where mechanical ball picker was operated. You can see from the control plot 32% in ball damage was observed, while in the plots where mechanical ball picker was operated, no damage, no leftover balls, and no live larvae were observed. So the benefits are this: 661 kg production will be increased due to the operation of the pink bollworm at the country level. How we will manage pink bollworm? These are the few guidelines that will manage that are very useful to manage pink bollworm. First of all, grazing of the goat or sheep in the field after harvest. Second, stick piling in bundles with upright position. Third, mechanical destruction of the cotton sticks. Irrigation should be done in the February to kill the hibernating pupae in the soil. Plow the field. Sowing time. Cotton should not be sowed before the 1st April. Apply PB ropes at the rate of 120 per acre at pinhead scare stage. Use mechanical ball picker to pluck the leftover balls from the cotton sticks. Another important part of the IPM strategy is the beneficial insects on biological control. You can say biological control. There are two types of the beneficial insects like predators and the parasitoids. The success story of the parasitoid in the cotton is of Anaceus bombay-wali. Anaceus bombay-wali is a parasitoid that lay the egg inside the mealybug, and the mealybug turns into the mummified form. Anaceus parasitoid available in the field throughout the season. This is a lab culture of the Anaceus and the field releases of the Anaceus bombay-wali to control the or manage the pink ball mealybug. Another important parasitoid is the Encarsia. This is the nymphal parasitoids of the whitefly. It can give 80% control of the whitefly in the early crop stages. These are different types of the beetles: Romus beetle, Scymnus, Chrysoperla carnea. This is very important predator and the general predators of the insect pest of the cotton. These are the pirate bugs, big-eyed bug, minute pirate bug, damsel bugs, accession bug. These are ants, spiders. Now the most important predator, Antilocus conurbatum. This is the predator of red cotton bug. This is very voracious predator of the red cotton bug. It resembles red cotton bug. Instead, red cotton bug has two spots, black spots and the white lines, while Antilocus has no black spot and no white lines. Chemical control. The last and most important is the chemical control. These are the pesticides recommended for the control of the insect pest of cotton. These pesticides are for J-acid, these are for whitefly, these are for dusky cotton bug, these are for thrips like Acifate, chlorphenpyr, Spintoram. These pesticides are for American bollworm, spotted bollworm, pink bollworm, and armyworm. These are recommended by CCRI Multan to control insect pest of cotton. But there are some points that should be followed for the successful chemical control. There are 4 golden rules. One is proper timing, proper product, proper machine, and 4th is proper coverage. What is right timing? Spray should be done at ETL level, pest stage, like for what stage of the insect, like the nymphal stage or adult stage, time of the day, like spray should be done at the morning time or evening time, crop stage and condition. Crop stage and condition, we recommend that spray should be delayed up till August. Spray interval or residual efficacy, 4 points. Another important golden rule is selecting a pesticide. Pesticide should be according to the pest. It should be non-phytotoxic, economically practical, and health hazard. According to pest means few pesticides are for JACID, few pesticides are for whitefly. These are specific because new chemistry insecticides are most of the insecticides. Among the new chemistry insecticide, most of the insecticides are pest specific. So you can't achieve good control without proper insecticide. The most important thing is the proper coverage. Pesticide should reach the whole plant surface and it should cover the whole plant to manage the pest. Like if one millibug remained unsprayed, it can produce more than 300 instars, and your crop will be you can get crop loss. No recommendations for the chemical control. Apply recommended dose of the right insecticide at right time. Ensure proper coverage. This is the most important point, proper coverage. Avoid to use broad spectrum insecticide early in the season. Don't repeat the same insecticide class. No consecutive spray of the same pesticide, no mixed single insecticide can do the job. These all points can protect the crop and also delay the insecticide resistance development. Now the summary of the whole presentation. Don't sow cotton before 1st April. Cultivation of host crop should be avoided near the cotton field. Destruction of the weed host in and around cotton field. Use seed treatment insecticides to prevent early season sucking pest attack. Delay the initiation of spraying until the scare formation to allow the beneficial insect control early infestation of sucking pest. Like if you have you will apply spray at the early stage of the cotton, it will kill the natural enemies. Like more than 80% control of the whitefly is achieved by the parasitoid Encarsia. If you apply the spray at early stage, it will cause the mortality of the Encarsia, and whitefly cannot be controlled. So you have delay the pesticide application as possible. Use neonicotinoid group of the insecticides to manage early season sucking pests, as they are safer to natural enemies than all available chemistries or the broad spectrum insecticides. Use of pyrethroids, organophosphates and their combinations must be avoided early in the season to save natural enemies. Use IGRs when both whitefly nymph and adults are increasing. Cotton fields and the bunds should be plowed up to expose the pest eggs and the larvae to sunlight and birds. This is most important for the pink bollworm, hibernating pupae, and red cotton bug eggs. The field should be irrigated to kill the pest present on the ground or plant debris like the pupae of the pink bollworm and eggs of the red cotton bug. What are the major problems that hinder the crop protection? There are two main problems, like insecticide resistance, lack of the knowledge about the insecticide resistance, and spray application method or techniques. To counter these problems, we have established different laboratories in entomology section. This is a glimpse of pink bollworm rearing lab. pink bollworm rearing lab, insecticide resistance monitoring of the whitefly. We organize national seminars on the pink bollworm and other insect pests. We gave trainings to the FFC and extension workers, pest warning, and different NGOs. This is the field training, how to apply PB ropes, different researchers, scientists, and academia's persons from the academia visited our labs. We also gave training to the students. These are publications of CCRI Multan, like Pakistan Cotton Grower. These are brochures for the farmer guidance. These are newspaper cuttings. Thanks. This